So with my business, I've basically been the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the marketing director, whatever title, whatever hat you want to put on. I have been that person for the past 6 years. So I'm at a stall with my business. I've been in business for 6 years and I'm still at square one. Let me just tell y'all all about it. So in 2019, I started my business. If you don't know what it is, it's the Slime Laboratory. I host birthday parties and events for children, teaching them how to make slime. So how it all started, it was literally just supposed to be entrepreneurship learning curve for my kids. We were supposed to set up at market days, and it was supposed to be a little side hustle just for my kids to earn a little bit of allowance money. That was it. So with my business, I've basically been the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the marketing director, whatever title, whatever hat you want to put on. I have been that person for the past 6 years. And I think that is where, well, I don't think, I know that's where my downfall came in. Is because when you're running the business, when you're trying to grow your business, you can't be the person that does everything. Sometimes you got to spend the money to make the money. You got to delegate out certain tasks. You got to allow others to be able to do these tasks without micromanaging. You have to be able to take the hat off your head and place it on somebody else's head and trust them to do their job. My biggest thing is I have not been able or been willing to let go of any of the tasks. I've been wanting to do everything myself, which has hindered my business for the past 6 years. So, when you're first starting your business, it's okay to wear all the hats for maybe the first year or so. But once you actually start getting some traction, getting some momentum and everything, you should start taking those hats off one by one and passing them to somebody else. For my first year of business, it was not supposed to be a business. It was trial and error. It was whatever. Year two, 2020, we all know what 2020 was. So I was stagnant. I was that was it. I couldn't do nothing. My hands were tied. I wasn't able to do an event until September. Things were slow. People were scared to go out. People were scared to do anything. So 2020 was kind of like a blur. 2019 was my test trial, my test run. 2020 was kind of like, oh, we're pausing for a second. 2021 is when I kind of hit the ground running and it was time to start getting back into business, running this business, trying to get this business where I'm going. And 2021, I would say overall was very successful. Now, 2022 is where I opened my storefront, and within 6 months, my storefront was closed because I did not budget correctly. I did not. My number one thing, though, it wasn't the budget, it was marketing. I was not booking parties like I should have been doing. I was not booking events like I should have been doing. I almost was at the point where I thought that everything was gonna kind of gonna come to me. People knew who I was, people knew about me, but not enough. Word of mouth was not enough to sustain a storefront, a business, to sustain employ. Oh, that's another thing. I did not hire quick enough. I was so busy trying to run this business by myself, trying to do everything on my own. I didn't hire quick enough, so I did not have a team. I was running the storefront by myself, trying to do it all. And at some point, you just cannot do it all. And 6 years in, I've realized that I could not do it all. So now we're at 2022, open, closed storefront. 2023, get another storefront, still can't sustain because why? I slacked off on my marketing. I was not marketing the way I should have been marketing. I was not once again pushing my business. I was lazy. And then I started working again. So I was now working a full time job. I was tethering on the line of going back to school. And so the business kind of got put on the back burner. I was like, if I book a party, I book a party. If I don't, I don't. 2024. I had some. Oh, actually, we're gonna back it up a bit. In 2023, towards the end, I had some disagreements, some things happening when it came to the storefront, some partnerships that kind of fell through. So I was kind of forced to go back into a mobile business model. So now we're in 2024 where I am 100% mobile, and sales were decent for 2024. I still wasn't marketing, and as you can see, the key to all of this is marketing your business. I was not marketing my business, and it suffered as a consequence. We still hosted school events, we still hosted summer camps, we still hosted different programs, we still hosted birthday parties and events, but it was all still at a standstill because this business model that I have, yes, it can be mobile, but it cannot grow and expand in the mobile state, if that makes sense. Yes, we can do a lot of things, but we were making a lot of smaller mistakes, repeating events that weren't as big. Like with my goal for events, not to go off topic a little bit, but to go off topic a little bit, my goal for events was however much I paid in vendor fees, I wanted to make three times that amount. Some events was a complete flop. One event I paid $200 at, and I think I might have made $100. I had an employee there, so I actually wound up in the negative. I had a couple events like that throughout the year. I call them learning curves because now, like, I really am hesitant before paying any more than $50 for a vending event because some of these events they'll say, "Oh, we had this many people, we'll have that many people." And if you're a vendor, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a small business owner that does pop ups and markets and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. These vendor events is not where it's at sometimes. And then we got to account in for weather. Sometimes it rains. I've realized that, like, outdoor events for summer and spring, it might rain and you might get rained out. When it comes to fall and winter, it's going to be cold. So it might be too cold for people to come out. My biggest, I would say, my peak times of every year that I've noticed has been the fall. The fall, you have fall festivals, fall events, you have fairs, you have lots of things going on. So that's what I'm about to go into now is planning my fall calendar. To bring it to calendars, you need to have, as a mobile business owner, you need to have your calendar planned for the majority of the year. Most events release their calendars, release their events the year in advance, like in advance. So I fell short when it comes to planning my calendar. So that's another big thing moving forward I have learned to do. And so now, fast forward, get back on track. We're getting back on track. Fast forward to 2025. I have been functioning as a mobile business. This is year 6. We have done a lot. We had a lot of things going on during the summer, but this month in August, things have slowed down drastically. I know that it will pick up because school starts back in August. Things go back to normal. People go back to work. Kids don't have as much free time. So this usually December was my slower month, but over the past like 2 years, December for some odd reason has been busy. So my slower months now are like end of July and August, and then maybe again January, February. Um, so that's 4 months out of the year that I need to prepare myself for because I know that those months are gonna take a hit, especially without me being a storefront. So, all in all, this video is about being able to delegate, being able to make sure you put the right pawns and pieces of the chessboard in the right places because we're playing chess, not checkers. Okay, when it comes to business owners, when it comes to owning a business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you got to be playing chess, not checkers. You got to make moves that are going to move you forward and not move you backward. And learn from me, learn from my mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes because I had no idea what I was doing. If you asked me 10 years ago what kind of business I was going to be in and running right now in my mid 30s, I would have said a restaurant because my dream was always to have a restaurant. But that's not how the stars align. My dream is still to have a restaurant, but right now it is a slime business, which is similar. It's not edible. I mean, we made edible slime. It's not that good, but the business overall is still standing. We're still going. I'm not going to stop the business. The ultimate goal is to have another storefront. I've been eyeing this one spot. They want like $5,000 a month. And I'm just not going to pay that amount of money for a store. But it is in a prime location. So I do have my eye. My eye will continue to be on that spot because that is a spot that I wanted. That is a spot that I am manifesting because I just know that location will give me everything I want. And then the ultimate goal my goal for over the next 3 years is to grow and expand my business. So right now, by the end of this year, I do want to have another storefront open, and then by the end of next year, hopefully, I want to have another storefront in a different city. My goal is, because there are big companies. I don't want to say the names of the slime companies, but y'all know some of the slime companies that are in the bigger cities. I want to focus more on the smaller cities that don't have these places, that only have like Chuck E. Cheese and launch and all of that stuff. I'm thinking about extending into like maybe the Savannah area, maybe the Birmingham, Alabama area. I don't know. But the goal is to have multiple stores in multiple smaller cities, but still big cities in a sense. Because yes, I could go to Atlanta because I am in Georgia, but I don't want to go to Atlanta. There's already a slime spot there, but most people have to drive there. So I want to go into the second biggest cities in each state, if that makes sense, or something like that. But anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I was just coming in to do an update on business, how things are going, and what's the plans thus far. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one.